a truth no one tells you about manifestation. Getting what you want isn't the hardest part. Keeping it is. Anyone can manifest a specific person, a big opportunity, or even a version of themselves that feels like a glow-up. But if your inner world, your self-concept, your identity, your nervous system is still wired for disappointment, chasing, or proving your worth, you will sabotage it or exhaust yourself trying to hold on to it. And that's not what we're here for. Welcome back to the Mentorship Podcast, Bestie. I'm Leopoldine, mindset and manifestation coach for soft yet ambitious souls who are done repeating painful patterns and are ready to actually live a life they desire with clarity, confidence, and emotional peace. Around here, we don't do fake positivity, vague fluff, or even spiritual bypassing. I blend the principle of the law of assumption with grounded self-worth work, so you can finally become the version of you who not only manifests the desire, but sustains it. This episode is for you if you've been on the journey, self-aware, heart-led, but still right now feel stuck in limbo. You want real change, you want it to feel aligned, and you want your outer life to reflect the growth you have done inside. Let's be real for a second. You have manifested something amazing, a person, a job, a win, and then suddenly it slips away. You get the relationship, but you are walking on eggshells. You hit a milestone, but you feel unworthy or drained. You glow up and then dim yourself down again. And bestie, it's not because you're broken. It's because your outside world hasn't caught up yet with your new inner world. So let's talk about what it really takes to build the bridge between who you are now and the life that's really calling you forward. Because you don't need to hustle, to force, or even beg the universe or God. You just need to become the version of you who naturally gets always what they want and always keeps it. So let's dive in. So what does it actually take to build that bridge? To step into the version of yourself who effortlessly hold what they have manifested without burnout, doubt, or self-sabotage. Here is the truth. It is not enough to just understand law of assumption. You have to become aware of what your mind is doing moment by moment. Because if you are not paying attention, your thoughts will drift toward fears, unworthiness, old patterns or stories. And as we know, those type of thoughts, repeated often, becomes what you see in your reality, becomes your life. Let me share a quick story here. Not about manifesting something flashy, but about something way more common. Feeling stuck in your career, or even personal growth. Even though you've done so much work. For a long time, I wanted more. More purpose, more confidence, more joy. But I was constantly overwhelmed by all the shoulds and even doubts running through my mind. Thoughts like, what if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? Am I really ready for that next step? It felt really like a loop that I couldn't get out of. And with each loop, I froze. And then I started doing something simple but powerful. I tuned in. When I noticed those type of thoughts taking over, I paused and gently asked myself, what beliefs am I holding on to right now that doesn't serve me anymore? Or actually, is it still serving me? Is it going where I want to be? And that's when it hit me. It wasn't about honing new skills. It was all about how I was thinking about myself. So I started shifting the story consciously, daily, repetitively. Thoughts like, I am always growing, learning, and leveling up. Every step I take, build my best life. I'm succeeding at everything I do. I am always confident and fulfilled. And here is the magic. I didn't wait for external proof. I assumed that I was already successful, even when things looked uncertain. Over time, doors opened, and not because I forced anything, but because I aligned with what I wanted. And that's the bridge of ascendant Neville talks about. The way you get your desire isn't always neat and tidy. Sometimes it looks like delays, setbacks, or curveballs along the way. But when your inner world is calm, grounded, and aligned with what you want being yours already or about to be yours, you realize those problems were actually guiding you right where you wanted to be, right to your desire. So if you are feeling stuck, insecure, or even overwhelmed in love or in life, remember, your power is in your awareness, in gently choosing thoughts that reflect the life you truly want, not the life you fear, not your doubts, not your old stories. And that's how you build the emotional safety and confidence to become the version of yourself who gets it all. So now affirm with me. I am aware of my thoughts works because I am a master manifester. I always choose what to focus on, easily. I trust the process, even when the bridge looks uncertain, because I always get what I want no matter what anyway. I'm more than ready to manifest the life I desire. It's already done. It's a done deal. The moment I think so. Everything is happening in my favor right now. Let's talk about what it really means to assume in your favor, especially when your 3D reality looks like nothing you want it to be right now. And this is where most people start to spiral. You get ghosted, the money doesn't come, the job slips through, and your mind goes, "This always happened to me. I knew it was too good to be true. I never get what I want." But this is also where your power lies. Not in being perfect, not in forcing positive force 24/7, but in choosing deliberately where to focus on your attention. So when your bank account looks low, don't spiral. Tell yourself in your mind, "I always receive money easily and fast. I always have more than enough. What I see right now, it's the whole story. It doesn't matter anymore." When your SP doesn't text back, don't unravel. Just think, "This is already done. They always text me anyway. I am always fully loved, chosen, and prioritized. They are surely busy. They cannot wait to text me whenever they get the chance. They love texting me." And when your dream apartment is still on your Pinterest board and you wake up in your current place, think yourself or imagine yourself into the version of you who is already in your dream home, exactly how you want it to be. And you repeat that kind of state of mind, not to trick the universe or God, but because you decide this is who you are now. The version of you who chooses their thoughts with care, who doesn't default to panic, who builds on her safety and confidence, and even clarity from within. And that's the real glow up. So let this be your reminder. You don't have to know how. You don't need to figure it all out. You just need to decide who you are and persist in that story. Your thoughts are seeds. Tend to them like they matter, because they do. You don't need evidence, and you don't need to believe it yet. You think it first consistently. The evidence follows, and then you will believe it. Let's end with this. Say it with me, but with full intention. Everything always works out in my favor, no matter what. I am always calm and grounded, because I always get what I want. No exceptions. I choose the best version of myself and the best case scenarios, because anyway, everything goes my way. I am safe, and my life always surprises me in the best way possible. If this landed for you, and I know it did, and you are craving more grounded, mindset-focused content to support your growth, confident, fully aligned era, you're in the right place, bestie. Like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this with someone who needs it. Check the links in the description if you want to go deeper. I've got tools and coaching supports to help you shift for good. This space is your sanctuary. Remember, it's not the end until you get what you want. Keep showing up, keep choosing yourself, and stay close, because I've got so much more coming just for you. Until then, keep shining and create your best life.